I'm Sandrine, and I love crafting. I love working with wool, natural materials, and I love using it as a means to connect to nature. In these videos, I'll take you along with what I'm working on and what's happening in my life. Good morning, everyone. Or whatever time it is over there when you're watching this. I've thought about doing videos like this for a long time. But I guess there's multiple reasons why I would take my time in getting here and sitting down with you. I think most of it is obviously because it's new, and that brings nerves, and that brings just blockages and reasons why you're like, oh, can I really do this? And though we know mentally we can just do anything, there's still some stuff to get through. So I took my time, and now we're here. I've learned this summer a very valuable lesson. I was on a market, and that was a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be doing it again. But it also kind of launched me into kind of a production mode where I was repeating a lot of creations. And I had some time to reflect on that, and I'm just not, I'm not made for repeating. I'm not made for creating things in exactly the same way every time, to my own frustration sometimes, but I'm in the process of learning to enjoy just the multitude of things I can make, and the curiosity that comes with trying something new. So yeah, that's a bit of my process at the moment, and I want to just take you along with whatever I think of, whatever I'm excited about to make. And I've been spinning lots and lots of yarn this summer, and yeah, I've also been trying to finish this piece that I've been working on for I think over half a year now. I started knitting it as I was spinning the yarn, which gave me a lot of, I learned a lot from it. Also what I would like to do differently next time. And there's a jacket I'm working on that requires some sewing. It's this really old jacket that I'm breathing new life into. So let's start with the yarn I spun, and I'll try to do it chronologically if I can. Yeah. So the first one I want to show you is this piece. I'll bring it in closer to the camera. And I spun this from a sheep called Ferdinand. He roams in the province around Amsterdam where I live, and he roams semi-freely, and he is part of a project where they're maintaining the landscape in natural ways. So they're trying to get rid of non-indigenous plants by having sheep graze there, and then slowly, hopefully, restoring the landscape to its indigenous state as much as possible. And when I saw this fleece, I was helping out with the shearing day, so they were all shearing the sheep, and I was helping out just because I wanted to be around sheep. Yes, I do have that inkling every once in a while. I just want to be around sheep. And I saw this ended up, all the fleeces, they get taken out and they get taken onto a table, and we check how well they are, what they're suitable for. And this one I saw, and I just immediately I just wanted to spin it. It's maybe it's Koberger Fuchs or something like that. And they have this orange, like this beige orange glow to their fleece. And yeah, I was so excited to see it spin up, and I managed. I made two, and one I've already made a little test swatch with. I'm very happy with the colors. I'm very excited and still a little bit unsure what I'll make of this. I also made a test swatch. I don't know if I washed this yet, but I think I did. And the colors are just so vibrant. I don't know if people who love really vibrant colors and like to dye synthetically would call this vibrant, but it's just so alive. So that's one. Oh, I'm gonna take some time talking to all of these. Next thing is these two, and I have a few more, but I didn't want to bring them all. And they're spun very locally. They're from two sheep that live around my corner in, what do you call that, a petting zoo? Though they're not really being pet, they just have a field where they hang out. It's mother and son. And there was usant, I don't even know how English people would say this, sheep, and they just have this lovely soft wool. Yeah, this one's really black and dark, this one's slightly more grey. I'll bring them in closer. And they were so fun to spin up. Originally I prepared these for the market, but they didn't all sell out, so I still have some to play with myself, and I'm quite excited about that. And I have a plan for all of these skeins, which I'll talk about at the end of the video. I found a pattern that I'd really like to try, and I think these colors will just come together really beautifully. So yeah, these two. Then the next batch of skeins, actually, and I'm thinking, did I not have more? These ones came from Scotland. So 2 weeks ago I came back from a trip to Scotland. It was my second visit to a family who owns a big bunch of sheep, or keeps, or stewards. Owns, I don't like the word owns, but it's also still part of my vocabulary. They take care of a flock of sheep, I think about 100, or maybe they've passed to 120 now. I went there in May to help with the lambing season, yeah, it was wonderful. The family was wonderful, the sheep were wonderful. I saw a lot of births happening, I saw a lot of births happening, and I went back there 2 weeks ago, and I just spent some time there. It was obviously autumn now, so way more rainy than it was when I was there. The little lambs got bigger that I saw in May, and yeah, there was a lot of inside time. We had a big storm and a power cut, so there's a lot of time to pass. Reading, I read a lot. I read a beautiful book. I won't talk about that too much, but this is it. And I spun a lot. And I think this is not even half. I think I took 1/4 of it home. So that gives you an idea of how much I spun. Here you go. 6 little skeins. I wish I knew which sheep they were from, but I just digged in their stash. They have a huge shed with lots of wool laying around, and I just digged in. I wouldn't 100% be sure what this is. I do know that this is a Ronaldsy fleece. North Ronaldsy. And then this one I don't know again. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I spun all of these from the fleece, so without carding wool. And this is how they turned out. So we have this wonderful palette. I'll bring them in closer later. I might want to add like one more color that's slightly more brown. If that makes sense. Probably, if you can see them like this. Like we have like this, the black is slightly brownish, and then the gray is slightly brown, but I think I want to have one more that's very expressively brown, if that makes sense. So yeah, I might get around to doing that. Now for my current working project, which is this baby. This has been in the making since March, April this year. It started because I just got my hand carders. I'll go get them. It started when I got these. That was the first time I could card at home and prepare my wool myself. I had been having a big bag of alpaca wool standing that a woman... It's a funny thing, when you start working with fibers, you just run into people with raw fibers everywhere you go. But so they had been sitting in my cupboard for more than half a year, and I couldn't really work with them because I couldn't card them myself, and I just left them kind of. Then I got these two, and then I could mix them. So I knew that alpaca can get quite drapey when you don't mix it with sheep's wool. So then I decided I would, yeah, start mixing them, see what comes out. And then as I was mixing it and spinning it, I got so excited to work with it that I just started knitting already, even though I only had 2 skeins. So this one was like spun and then knitted and then spun and then knitted, and I would run out again and then I would spin more. But I would also kind of get out of the flow of that yarn that I was making or working with that fiber. So I don't know, I think it took me a lot longer because I approached it that way. Then I wouldn't say that working longer or taking longer on a project makes it any less. So maybe it's not a bad thing. This is also the first thing that I've improvised, like shape-wise. I was feeling very brave, and I just started like mimicking the shape of another knitted garment that I have. Because I took so many steps in the spinning process, you can't see it, I'll bring it in close, but I carded them at different times, I spun them at different times, so I used very different parts of the alpaca fleece, and then also I apparently would one time do more alpaca and one time less. Like, I wasn't very accurate about it, which I think is nice. It ends up giving it a very organic feel to it, but there's a lot of color shifts in this entire garment. I guess, like, looking at it now, I'm starting to really appreciate that about it, but yeah. It's definitely not a very coherent piece color-wise. Comes the process of deciding, will it get a closing system? Will I put buttons or a zipper on it? Or will I just keep it open? I'm leaning towards zipper. That was my original idea with this. Then again, yeah, I don't know. I might decide otherwise. So that's this one. Then next, we have this jacket, which is a sewing project. It's not very complex. This is the inner jacket of a very cool jacket that I found somewhere in I don't even know if it's an antique, but a vintagey weird collector's store. They had all these odd items, and I found a jacket, and the colors and the pattern just were very striking to me, and I was kind of sold instantly. So this is the inner jacket, which kind of like locks into the outer jacket with these with this, is it corduroy? No, Velcro. And the other day I was wearing this because both layers were too warm, and I actually kind of dig the, I don't know, like the unpolished look. Like, there's obviously, because it's an inner jacket, there's all exposed seams and stuff, but I was kind of into it. So I decided there's no way of closing this thing now. There is Velcro here, but it just sticks into the outer jacket. It doesn't stick to each other. Not really anyway. So I'm planning to put buttons on it so I can wear it by itself. I've already picked my buttons. I'm gonna do that later. I might come back to you after, or I don't know, or I won't, and I'll show you in another video. But yeah, that's it for sewing. Then, finally, I showed you all these skeins, and I'm gonna tell you what pattern I'm planning on making with it. I've been obsessed with the look of, what's it called again? With the striped gardy pattern by Loopy Studio. She makes gorgeous things, and I mean, just have a look at her profile. It's amazing what she does. She generally makes very colorful things. So is the case with the samples that she's made on this cardigan. I just love the fit. Even if I see it on her, I love the fit of it, and I'd love to make a garment with this shape. She offers the pattern for free online. She has this video that looks super supportive. She basically talks you through the entire process. I have no clue whether I have enough yarn. Yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to deal with that, but I have a lot of yarn, so I should be getting somewhere with what I have here. Yeah, it was both odd and fun doing this. I'm still getting used to talking to a camera, but yeah, this was me. This was what I have. This is what's happening in my crafting section. Oh, and something very exciting coming up. This weekend I'm going to pick up a new spinning wheel. I have one that I've had for 1.5 years now. It's the one that I learned to spin on. I do love her a lot, which has held me back from looking for another one. But every so often I go onto the secondhand marketplace online and I just have a little browse. And I saw a wheel that I spun on in Scotland in May, and then, yeah, only in May, not this time when I was there. And I just had so much fun spinning on it. It spun really nicely. I just really like the way it looks. And I saw it offered and I was like, I'm gonna go get that. So still conflicted whether I'll get rid of my, if you're wondering why I'm looking there with a loving face, my spinning wheel's right there. I don't want to think yet about whether I'll get rid of her or whether I'll keep them both. Currently I don't see myself getting rid of her, but yeah, who knows? Who knows, who knows, who knows? So that's happening this weekend. I don't know when I'll come back to sit here and chat to you. I plan to do this in ways that I enjoy without working too hard. But actually sitting down here and chatting has not felt like hard work. So let's see. I hope to do this more often, to chat to you and get to know whoever is drawn to these videos. And just, yeah, kind of bring people into the process of creation and creation for the sake of it. If you like this, if you enjoy watching me chat about wool or about other crafts, I dabble in sewing, spinning, knitting, anything with fiber arts. So yeah, you can expect to see more of that on here, I suppose, but let's see where this little bit leads us. Thank you for sitting here with me, for watching, for being present with this very first sit and chat about wool. And if you like what you saw, stay in the loop. See you on the next one.